And welcome. We are here for Ashley's Heart Song. This is the place where we get out of the stress and back into our body, our life, and our business. When we tap into the song of our heart, that is when we master our mind and the stress that can steal our life. Welcome to today's show, all about those positive connections that we can make in our life that will help create more vitality for our physical health, our mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Positivity has been the theme for the last several shows, and positivity is one of the big ultimate health techniques, ultimate health methods that you can use in your health journey. If you are disgruntled with where you are in your life with your health and your vitality, then look at positivity. It is amazing how this one very simple method can be one of the first things that's dropped when things get rough. And y'all, we live in a physical world that likes to paint a pretty down picture, a picture of what everything that's going wrong in the world, everything that's going wrong in life. And when we're surrounded by that, staying in that state of positivity can take some work. And so what I'd like to just bring to the table these last several shows and for this show here and the one upcoming is just a view of positivity in all of these different areas of life that can truly make a difference and help you elevate and gain more energy in your body so you feel like doing all the things that you love and want to do. All right, so we usually start with a vitality score. And what I want to do today is something a little different. We're going to do a vitality score, but you're going to do it in the realm of relationships. So relationships is one of the 8 areas of life that we involve ourselves in our life. So we have the us, which is the mind, the heart, the emotional center, the spiritual essence of us, and the physical being, right? So we have all 3 parts: physical, soul, and spiritual. That makes up us. And then we have 8 areas of life in which we play in this world, and relationships is one of them. And so when you're thinking about your vitality score this week, I want you to view it from the scope of your relationships, how your relationships are today in this moment and how you feel that they are. So let's take it in the realm of physical. So physically, when you're looking at your relationships, how do you feel physically in your body? Does your body feel strong when you think of the relationships in your life? Does your body feel strong? Or does it kind of feel weak and fatigued and exhausted? That's what you're looking at. That's on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you are rock solid, and 1 being you are fatigued and just, yeah, all out. The gas is out of the engine. Okay? You're exhausted from your relationships. Now I want you to look at mental. Mentally, between 1 and 10, how are your relationships in your life? Do you feel mentally engaged? Do you feel mentally clear and sharp? Or do you get a little brain fog in your relationships? Do you feel as though you are unable to think clear in your conversations with those in your life? Do you find that? So that's going to be lower on that scale of 1 to 10. And then we're going to move to emotional. So emotionally, how are you in your relationships? Is it an emotionally nurturing relationship where everyone is nurtured on both sides? Or do you feel starved? Are you in starvation mode in your relationships? So on a scale of 1 to 10, if you're feeling starved emotionally, that's a 1. If you are feeling nurtured exponentially, that's 10. Now we're going to look at the spiritual component of relationships. So spiritually in your relationships, are you fed? Are you in alignment? Are the relationships that you have, are you in spiritual alignment with them? Are you being spiritually fed? Is there a relationship spiritually going on? Or again, are you in starvation mode? Maybe you're in relationships with people that just don't get you spiritually, get your beliefs, get your feelings, get where you are in your spiritual journey. Maybe you're just misunderstood in that arena. That's going to get you closer to a 1. So we're doing this vitality score around relationships, this one area of our life. And in that, tally up your total. And again, the high score is 40. Where are you in your relationship score with your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual or aspects of you? Where are you? And what areas are you wanting to work with this week? Where are you wanting to put your attention? So by the end of this episode, you're going to have 8 ways that you can invest, build, create solid relationships, nurturing relationships that bring life into you and into your experience in this world. Okay? So let's get rolling and just kind of do a little recap of what we've been talking about in positivity and how it has been benefiting us. So remember that positivity, the reason why we're going here is because it boosts our immune system. That's huge. It helps reduce stress in our life. It levels out the emotional complex. It can also help us increase our lifespan. Y'all, that's so big to increase our lifespan, to live a couple of years longer just because we decided to be in a state of positivity. That's huge. The other one that we've been looking at is the heart health. When we're in a state of positivity, we have reduced risk of heart disease, and we have lower blood pressure, lower heart rate. The heart thrives in positivity. And then we also have improved mental health. When we are cultivating positivity in our life and in our thinking space, we have less risk of depression and anxiety. So we're happier. And also that resilience. Positivity builds resilience so that you can come back from challenges, from adversity, so much easier and so much faster. So let's talk about how we can do this with relationships. And I just want to start with a heartwarming story of a positive relationship that I've experienced. And as I'm speaking about mine, I want you to reflect on yours. A relationship, when you think about a story about a relationship in your life, who would that be with? And we're talking about a relationship where you have noticed um, that it is filled with positivity and how it has changed and created exponential goodness in your life. So I have a friend that is a new friend. And, all of my life, I have had my sisters and I have had friends in school. I had a girlfriend that I grew up with that she has warmed my heart. A girl that I went through high school with that she is warm in my heart. And they were such great friends, best friends. And I also had my sisters, and my sisters, oh my gosh, they are my rock solid, die-hard friends. And those of you who have sisters and have that kind of relationship with your sister, you know what I'm talking about. And so I always wondered in my adult life if I would ever have that friend that was positive, that felt the same way that I did about things. And that, we kind of come from the same, I don't know, woo-woo-ness for life, that there is some goodness in here and we're going to find it. And it was so much fun because when we started going to a new church, once we moved here in Sanger, further out, away from the city, we went to a church and we're trying it out. And there was this thing called Chuck Wagon Breakfast, where you can sit around a table and eat a literal Chuck Wagon breakfast or with other ones in the community. And Robert and I sat down next to this girl and her granddaughter that I had never seen before at the church, never known, and we hadn't been gone that long. And y'all, it was the craziest thing. You know how when you meet somebody and you just all of a sudden, I mean, there's just this click, there is this, you are speaking the same language. And we decided to meet up for lunch. And that lunch, usually when you meet somebody new, it's about an hour and then you're done. Well, not us. I think we were there about 3 hours. Y'all, it was the craziest thing. We had such a wonderful time talking because we both came from the same type of mindset, that positivity mindset. We were dying to find somebody else who thought the same way that we did in that positivity realm. We also found through our relationship and the growth of the relationship that we continue to build each other up. And even if one of us is down, the other one uses one of the techniques that I'm going to be talking with y'all about, and that is that listening technique, that intent listening, where you're really not just listening to what's going wrong, but you're listening for what is going right, and you're listening for where that pain really is and how you can help them best. And when you have a relationship like that, that's nurtured in that way, that is one that you hang on to. And so I want you to kind of begin reflecting on the relationships that you've been able to cultivate, the ones that you have in friends, in family members, in your spouse, and discover what areas of that relationship need to be nurtured even more. And that is one of the things that we're going to be talking about. I had parents that had friends that their friendships were amazing. They had such wonderful get togethers with their friends that us kids would be upstairs and camping out during one of their get-togethers downstairs, and there would be so much laughter going on that us kids would go down the stairs and sit on the stairs and see if we could figure out what they were laughing about so hard. That was so much fun. So when we're cultivating relationships, we're also looking for that fun in there, the one where you can laugh, where there's a lightness of being, there's a childlike zest, something that brings out in you that fun for life. And that's what we're looking for. Positivity breathes funness. It does. And so I just wanted to go through a couple of things that this, when we cultivate relationships like this, what it does for us. And you'll notice that they're similar to the ones that I mentioned at the start of the show, but there's a depthness to it because we are created to be in communion with others. We are not intended to live this life on our own. We're not intended to go solo. We are intended and we are created to be in relationship, that is where the power is. And so one of the first health benefits of a relationship like this that's breathed in positivity, it boosts your happiness score and it reduces your stress. Relationships that are grounded in positivity buffer us against stress and are a direct source of the joy in our life. They provide emotional support, making it easier to navigate through the tough times. And that is certainly what I have found through my girlfriend that I have found. And imagine having a cheerleader by your side all the time. Somebody that's always rooting for you. That's what you're looking for in this relationship. Another thing that positive relationships do for us is it improves our self-esteem and our confidence. When you're surrounded by people who believe in you, who believe in what you are designed to do, believe in what you are here to do. When they believe that in you, you have that personal fan club. People who are cheering you on, that is something that I've always had in my family and in my husband. They always cheer me on, and that is the best feeling in the world. Whether they get me or not, doesn't matter. They are my personal fan club, and they cheer me on all the time. And when people are cheering you on, that boosts your confidence, that boosts your self-esteem, and empowers you to take on challenges with that attitude of moxie. The third benefit of positive relationships is it encourages healthy behaviors. So we know that relationships can encourage unhealthy behaviors, but positive relationships encourage healthy behaviors. The kind that if you're wanting to stick to something like not eating sugar, they're going to support you in that endeavor. But they also support you in walking your own road, your own pathway. And they trust that whatever you're doing, decision you're making, that you're doing it for your highest good, but they're there to support you and to just breathe some wisdom into you whenever it's necessary. Whenever they notice you're getting off the beaten path a little bit, they breathe that wisdom right into you and remind you, hey, you told me this 6 months ago. Is that still true for you? Asking those questions. That is what these relationships that are cemented in positivity do for us, is they just remind us what we have committed to, what we have um, intended for us, for ourselves to do. Positive relationships also enhance positive or emotional support. They are emotional support for us. And by golly, do we ever need it in this world? We need the emotional support because that is so crucial for our psyche, isn't it? It also helps us to alleviate those feelings of loneliness and isolation that can come over us for no reason at all. Sometimes we just will feel that. And when we have cultivated these relationships inside positivity, it can help curb that tendency of going into the loneliness. These relationships will also help us promote personal growth. They inspire us to grow. They provide a safe place for self-exploration, encourages us to develop our strengths and to keep working on our weaknesses. So personal growth, if you want to experience more personal growth and you don't feel like you're making headway, look at your relationships that you've cultivated in the last several years. The people that you spend the most time with, look and see who that is and what their mindset is. If their mindset is steeped in negativity, no wonder you're having such a difficulty with personal growth. We've got to have those relationships in our life that are built on positivity, so that we have that ability to increase and elevate in our life. And believe it or not, strong social connections steeped in positivity helps us live longer. I love that. We all want to live longer, don't we? And we all want to foster a resilience in our life that helps us to stay strong in the midst of those curveballs. So when it all comes down to it, building these relationships is super healthy for us. It does a lot for us. So look at your relationships and see which ones need to not be fed anymore and which ones need to be fed even more. And if you are in the need for relationships that are steeped in positivity, then you might need to go out and find some. So how do we do this? So I am going to share with you 8 ways that you can do this. Are you ready? 8 ways that we can build and maintain positive connections. Remember, building these positive relationships, these friendships requires care and attention. Y'all, it's like taking care of a garden. They need attention. They need listening. They need care. They need a little bit of sunshine. That sunshiny smile that you can give them will go a long way. Just smiling at someone is an open invitation to cultivate a relationship steeped in positivity. So here we are. Here's some things that you can do to help manifest and cultivate these relationships. Number 1, be authentic. Show up as your true self. Forget pretending. Don't pretend. Be authentic. Really come from your heart. Who are you really? That's what you're wanting to share, because this will deepen the trust and the connection that you have. The second one is active listening. And this is the one that I love so much and that I have finally found in a friend, that active listening. So it's the listening more than you speak, but it's really more than that. It's by really hearing what the person is saying, hearing what they're saying, behind the words, with the emotion, the tone, knowing them and really who they are. When we've cultivated a relationship and you really know the person's heart, you know that sometimes words are coming out of the mouth that aren't their heart. So you're listening, really, that active listening is listening to the heart. When you listen to their heart, it shows that they value your thoughts and feelings. Yes. So that's one of those things that you're looking for, and you're wanting to extend out to this relationship that you're cultivating. You also regularly express appreciation and gratitude. This is number 3. Express gratitude and appreciation for people in your life. Say thank you. Be that fertilizer of positivity that helps your relationships bloom. Number 4 is open communication. Always keep the lines of communication open and honest. Address conflicts constructively and with empathy, compassion, y'all. Sometimes we've got to remove what isn't needed before we can really promote the new growth in that relationship. So if there's something that needs to be cleared in the air, it's like pruning off the dead blooms off of a plant so it can continue to grow, expand. And that is what a relationship is like. So if there's something that needs to be addressed, don't sweep it under the rug. Show up authentically. Be there, be an active listener, and really tune in and promote new growth within that relationship. Number 5 is support and encouragement. Support and encourage other people. If you would love to build a rock solid relationship, support and encourage a person. If you really like someone and you think, wow, I want to cultivate a relationship with them so that we're more for each other than just casual friends, then celebrate their successes. Give them a shoulder to lean on during the tough times. That mutual support will help strengthen and create a deeply rooted relationship. Number 6, invest time. Y'all, it's about quality time, not about quantity, but it's about quality time. So whether it's 5 minutes or whether you get an hour, like me and my girlfriend got 3 hours that day, no matter what it is, you spend quality time together. That's what strengthens those bonds. And it's quality time that is on a regular basis, right? You stay in touch with each other. You don't let months go by. You stay in touch with each other and be in life together. Number 7 is setting boundaries. So whether it's a healthy relationship or not a healthy relationship, we always hear about setting boundaries when a relationship isn't healthy. But what about when a relationship is healthy? We still set healthy boundaries. Why? Why do we do this? When we set healthy boundaries, it helps create an even more positive relationship. Because in every relationship, everyone needs space. No matter what relationship you're in, you need space. And when you have those healthy boundaries and you each know what the other needs in those boundaries, then you will build a more positive relationship, ensure mutual respect and understanding for one another without encroaching on each other's space. And number 8, networking and community building. So, in the professional sense, you want to actively seek opportunities to connect with others in your field. Attend events, attend programs, networking events, uh, social get togethers, meetups, forums. Participate in discussions, whether they're online or in person. Doesn't matter. But what we want to do in that realm of our businesses is get out and meet new people and help each other grow our networks. So, right now, what I'd love for us to do is just to take a moment. Take a moment and be in gratitude for relationships, for the relationships that are going on in your life right now. I want you to just pause for a moment. This is going to be a moment of silence. And just take a moment and be in gratitude for the relationships that you have, the ones you've cultivated in positivity. Here we go. Take that deep breath in. Let's get centered. Breath in, loud exhale. Another breath in. Let's get to our heart. Let's not be all in our head around gratitude. Let's bring ourselves and our attention into alignment with our heart and be in gratitude for just a moment for those relationships that you have in your life. Right. So now you have heard why we need those positive connections. We are designed to be in community with one another. And I encourage you this week to nurture or manifest a positive relationship in your life. You will be so glad that you did. You will. Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode of Ashley's Heart Song, all about positivity in our connections. Don't forget to subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next week as we continue to armor up our lives for greater health, energy, and vitality. I'll see you next time.